So how do you know if your marketing video is actually performing? How should you be measuring them? In this video, you'll learn the key metrics to gauge the success of your videos and its impact to your business. So let's get started. Before we deep dive into the key metrics, look back at your video strategy and see what the goals and objectives for that video were. So was the purpose of the video to generate sales and revenue? Was it supposed to generate leads? Was it supposed to be for brand awareness for your product or service? Or was it to convey information to a specific group of people? Now, if you don't have a video strategy or didn't set any goals and objectives, I actually created a video to help you get started. Check it out here and in the description below. So here's some key metrics you want to look at. So the first one is views. Remember that not all views are alike. Depending on which channel you publish your video, that channel has its own definition of views. So for example, Facebook and LinkedIn count views as 3 seconds, while YouTube counts views as 30 seconds. Now, if you have a hosting platform like Vidyard or Wistia or Brightcove, then your view count could be a little bit more accurate. So the next metric is play rate. That's the number of people who viewed your video divided by impressions. And remember that impressions were just how many times that video is actually shown to people, whether they viewed it or not. So something like Instagram, when you're scrolling, that scroll across a video would be counted as an impression. The next metric you want to take a look at is video completions, or how long people watched. For example, on Facebook and LinkedIn, you can actually take a look at the percentage of how long people watch, from 25%, 50%, 75%, all the way to full completion. On YouTube, you have metrics such as watch time, audience retention, average view duration. Now, if you have a hosting platform, you can actually see the exact moment people drop off at. So if you're publishing your video on social channels, another key metric to take a look at is engagements. Things like likes, shares, comments, light bulbs, claps. There's so many different ways that people engage with your video. The most important ones you should be taking a look at are shares and comments. And remember, when you're publishing your video, make sure that the post encourages comments and shares to ensure maximum reach. So to recap, here are all the key metrics you should be looking for, but the most important one is to always tie it back to the goals and objectives you set for your video. If the video is designed for awareness or information, then you definitely want to look at these consumption metrics. Now, if they were designed for things like leads, there are other metrics that you also want to take a look at. For example, it could be click-through rates on your video ads, or it could be conversion rates. If you're using the video in an email, then you also want to take a look at obviously open rates and click-through rates on that individual email as well. Now remember, if you're using your video for ads, always test it. Test it against other videos or test it against static images and to see which one you got a better click-through rate and a better conversion rate if that's what your ad's designed to do. Now, if your video was for awareness or providing information to a set group of people, there are other secondary metrics that you should be taking a look at. That includes organic traffic to your website. Was there a spike after you released the video or after you ran your video ads? Was there an increase of traffic to specific pages? And did these pages have an increase in time on page or a decrease in bounce rate? So what's next? What do you do with these metrics? Well, the whole point of having metrics is to analyze them and then take a specific action based on your analysis. For example, see the specific point where people were starting to drop off in your video and maybe make the change for next time. Perhaps people went back to your video in a certain segment. What was that segment? And maybe replicate it as well. Remember to measure your video against the desired action you wanted people to take, whether it's to watch your video, generate leads, generate sales, or increase the awareness of your product or service. Remember to always tie it back to your video strategy. So the question I have for you is, did you measure your previous video's performance? How did it do? Do you have any additional tips or metrics that you want to share? Leave it in the comment section below. So if you found this video useful and you want to keep getting the latest strategies and tips on how to get the greatest impact for your video, hit the subscription button below, hit the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. If you want your videos to have the greatest impact for your business, check out this video here about creating a video strategy and this video here about creating a distribution and promotion plan for your videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.